Alright, you just downloaded the game and you're a noob, you're a newcomer. What do? Well, if you're one of the Silver 2 newcomers, I guess there was a bug that set a lot of people already in Silver 2 rank, so you're going to have access to all this stuff. But I already have a separate video for that, so let's strip Ugly Baby down to the naked essentials here. No shirt, no pants, because he's Ugly Baby. Take away the boots. Get rid of that. Get rid of the gauntlets. Get rid of the little Caesar deal on the head. And let's downgrade our weapons to a knife and nothing in the other hand. This is probably how you're going to start out if you don't have that weird Silver 2 perk that people have been getting. I don't know if they fixed that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one as how you're normally starting out. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start Rustzardom and Holy Roman Empire first, because that has the best weapons and the best items in my opinion. The British Isles I do last and kind of save that easier AI to fall back on when you're trying to make money to progress through these other areas. So, Holy Roman Empire, Rustzardom, those are your priorities. Rustzardom's probably has a little bit better weapons. So, let's get started in Holy Roman Empire. AI number 1. The main thing you want to practice is sniping hands. You definitely want to snipe hands. So go for those hands. And even though this is like no armor and crappy weapons, this principle still applies throughout the game. So stab low when you have the knife. Whatever you have in this hand, I have nothing in this hand, but notice I'm still bracing my hand out there to, kind of jig myself and block and parry, whatever. But of course, if you have nothing in that hand, be careful with it. So I probably shouldn't be holding that hand out there. So stab hands. Once you stab a hand, you can let them bleed out. They don't have a weapon, especially like these single digit guys. Might have to help them out with bleeding a little bit. And with the little knife, you can kind of overhand swing, but it's a little bit more difficult because you don't have the weight to whip over. And when you swing in ellipses. Swing in a flattened ellipse, because the pointy end of an ellipse is where that energy is going to swing around. Of course, this is a little knife, so you don't have a lot of weight whipping around the end there. With these guys, you just want to stab. But later on, stabbing becomes very important, because if somebody's overhand swinging you, you can understab their arm and disable that arm. So once you get a decent sword or a gladius or something, that underhand swinging is going to be very effective. I'm not that great at swinging, that's why I'm kind of flailing around and missing a lot. I'm more of an overhand person, but you just got to get used to chopping up them hands. That guy's done. That's the basic tactic of this game now, is sniping hands, since they made arms a lot weaker. Just like real life. Your arms, in melee combat, your arms are the most exposed and vulnerable part of your body, because your arms are out there in front of you dealing with everything. So if you snipe somebody's arms and disable their weapons and bleed them out, then the match is yours, basically. So practice sniping those hands. Practice sniping the weapons, sniping the hands before you go for a headshot. And pretty much that tactic carries throughout the whole game. So, yeah, there you go. That's the basics. Buy yourself some new shit. Buy yourself some armor. Buy yourself some mail. Go get it. Alright, you're a new player. You just downloaded Bloody Bastards. And holy shit, I need to turn that down. But you open it up, and let's say you're one of those noobs that got thrown right into Silver 2 rank. Well, you're gonna have access to the bronze stuff. You're going to have access to the gladius. You're going to have access to that ancient shield. You're going to, whoops, the other hand. No. Not gladius. Okay. You're going to have access to that crap. And you're going to have access to the armor. So you're probably going to end up putting that on, putting this stuff on. And, you know, if you want to be fancy, you can put some of that holiday gear on, but the holiday gear really doesn't really do much of anything for you, except cosmetically. So, yeah. So your new Silver 2 guy, putting on all the armor, putting on the little Caesar deal on your head, like most Silver 2 noobs do. Now what do? Well, you're ready to go. Let's go right into random no, let's not do that. Let's grind Holy Roman Empire and the Resardum first. Stab vigorously. These guys just fall apart like daisies. Focus on sniping hands. If you can snipe a hand, that gives you a huge advantage. That is a major tactic in this game now. Arms are a lot weaker than they used to be. So hand sniping is definitely a big deal, and if you think about it, in a melee fight, your arms are the most exposed and vulnerable part of your body because they're out in front of you dealing with everything. And even if they're armored, you know, like gauntlets aren't going to be as strong as a cuirass. So your fists are going to be in danger. So take advantage of that. Do a lot of understabbing with a gladius. Because a lot of people are going to come in overhand swing like this. And see where his little knife is? If that was a gladius and he was stabbing, I could risk losing my arm just like he lost his. Even though I'm wearing this armor. This armor's not that great. In the campaign, you want to grind until you get some mail. You want mail under your plate, and you definitely want new armor, because this bronze armor isn't that great. The shield's good. You keep the shield, keep the gladius, because the gladius is basically, if you master this gladius, you can run people and learn how to snipe people's arms, even the meta guys. But what you're probably gonna want to do is you want to strive to you want to strive to unlock certain items. What I'd say is if you're in the Holy Roman Empire, you want to, let's see, that's a pretty good beginner sword right there. Not as good as the gladius if you already have, never mind, I forgot. I forgot you already got the gladius, so don't even worry about that. Definitely strive to get this thing. This thing destroys people. The handle destroys people. This one's okay also, but that hook tends to snag on stuff. This one tends to glide off of people easier, so strikes are more repeatable. It doesn't get hemmed up as easily. And when you get in real close and you drop that fucking handle on them, it can wreck them. So get that. Imperial Heavy Mace is a nice one. It's very fast, very non-telegraphic. It's gray. It blends in with the background. So it's hard to pay attention to what that thing's doing. And also it has a lot of top weight to it. So you can almost spin that thing independently from your arm if you get it spinning right. Very non-telegraphic. Poor Warhammer may be the best single-handed weapon in the game. Definitely strive to unlock that. I forget which level it's at. I think you gotta beat the 500 level bosses before you get this thing. But definitely. Poor Warhammer wrecks shit. Definitely get that. Ball flail. You got to be really good with a ball flail to make that work. The star flail. A lot of people just flop around with that thing because they don't know what they're doing. But if somebody is accurate and repeatable with that thing, you're in trouble. So yeah, that's another good weapon. Other good weapons is this thing. This thing destroys everything. This is basically siege equipment in your hand. It's a piece of artillery in your hand. This thing destroys anything in front of you if you get good at it. And I'm just talking about what weapons you should unlock. It's not going to go into a tutorial how to use these. but this is what you should strive for. Definitely, you want mail. You want mail under your shit. Definitely want some mail under that. You definitely want some mail underneath your legs. Mail right here. You definitely want that. Because those arms, that's not really armor. I think that's just like a sleeve of fabric. So you want mail under that. You definitely want some better armor than this stuff. And there's some decent low-end armor that's better. Like maybe that, get some arm protection. Definitely get a better helm. Something that's... I've been seeing a lot of people use... Which one was that? Oh no, that's in British Isles. Anyway, I digress. Go into campaign, grind before you go out in public and wiggle like a worm, like I see a lot of people do. I don't know how, if this bug has been fixed yet, but if it hasn't and you started the game in Silver 2, this is what to expect. Go grind. Find better stuff. Bronze stuff ain't that great. Except for the Gladius. Keep the Gladius if you want it. And the shield's a good shield also. Definitely want a shield in this game. If you have 2 weapons, you risk getting them both stabbed. And you risk getting your hand sniped. So the shield helps prevent that. And it obstructs their attack, obviously, what basically a shield does. Anyway, that's it. I forgot how to word, so it's over.